Hello friends and potential friends. Let's see, I think today is, what is it, May 10th? Possibly the 11th. I think it's a Friday. And things have been changing around here a little bit. I've got all the Praxis cherry tomatoes out of the lab. And a lot of the tomatoes that have been in the garden are pretty much finishing up, because to be honest, we've had some hot weather down here. According to my weather station right there, it was 101 degrees here yesterday. We haven't had any rain in about a month, and as you can see, the tomatoes have about had it. But they had a good run. I mean, I planted these things last September, and I'm still getting a few tomatoes here and there. In fact, there's a bloom on the Roma tomatoes. A few green ones hanging in there. A lot of brown. But I'm just watching them and picking them as they slowly ripen. The Homestead tomatoes, there are still a few on there that need to ripen. The only ones that are really continuing to grow are these Everglades down here at the end. They're still putting on blooms, got quite a few green tomatoes on them. I've been picking a handful of ripe ones every day. But remember, these Everglades were developed specifically for Florida's climate. So they're the only ones that are really doing well. The Homesteads actually were developed for Florida climate, but apparently they haven't adapted quite as well as those Everglades. But that's okay. I've been getting a lot of tomatoes. I've probably got 10 pounds in the freezer again now. Haven't been getting much action out of the asparagus. They're growing, but not real fast. According to the weather report, we might actually get some rain this afternoon and evening. And I sure hope so. I've been running this soaker hose on the pepper plants, about every 3 days. Just trying to keep them alive, and I'm getting some peppers out of them. Mostly they're growing pretty good, so can't complain about that. But as you can see, things are kind of winding down from the winter crops. I need to cut back this comfrey and spread it around. No action from the potato that I planted last week. And these sweet potato vines, I've been not vines, slips. They're turning into vines though. I've been thinking I might pull these off of here and put them in a jar of water just to make sure they get a good development of roots before I put them in the ground. That way I should have some sweet potatoes to dig when I come back from my mom's place. This bed, I haven't done anything but add the amendments to it. And I'm debating whether to pull up that elephant garlic. They're not developed as nice as I would like, but they are starting to die back a little bit. So I may go ahead and pull them in the next day or so. I did decide to pull up the Georgia collards because I'm hoping that by leaving the cabbage collards in here, I might be able to get some seeds out of them if they can survive the summer heat. So I didn't want them crossing with the Georgia collards, so I pulled the Georgia collards up. They were getting bitter anyway, so I hadn't been eating them lately. Snowflakes out here hunting lizards. But yeah, the red mustard, I'm still waiting for those seeds to start browning a little bit. Then I'll be gathering them. I've been gathering a lot of seeds this year. I got seeds out of the cilantro, the Florida broadleaf mustard. I'll be getting seeds out of the red mustard soon. I got seeds out of the broccoli. And incidentally, you can't see it yet because nothing's popped up, but I planted this whole bed heavily with corn. I found a bag of kiddo corn in the freezer. So I mixed it with the bodacious sweet corn and just scattered them in here, oh, pretty thick. Now I'm just waiting for things to pop up. And I don't really care whether they cross or not because, well, to be honest, mostly I planted them for the raccoons. No doubt the coons will figure out how to get past the fence while I'm gone. And they'll have themselves another feast like they did last year. Peppers are still doing pretty good. They're starting to bloom again. They had a lot of blossoms on them when I put them out here, and then the blossoms fell off, most of them. But there are a few peppers in here. These are the lemon spice jalapenos. They're staying pretty tiny. Next to them are the Megatron jalapenos, and I've picked several of those. I have one Sugar Rush peach pepper, and I'm just letting that go to see how big it gets. And there's a few more blossoms coming on there. These ones are cayennes. There's one Scotch bonnet there at the end here. Fusajawalas, sweet banana peppers, Jimmy Nardellos. I had a couple of those for supper last night, and they are good. There's one that's starting to turn red. And some more sweet banana peppers. I have eaten a few of those, put a few in the freezer. And then at the end are the Keystone Giant bell peppers. And I'm still waiting to see some action from them. But overall, things are winding down. And I'm not planting nearly as much as I normally would because I'm going to be leaving here next month or so. So a lot of the beds are going to be kind of empty while I'm gone. But I hope to get them all topped off with soil and amendments so that when I can come back I can hit the ground running. Get ready for another good winter season. It's almost depressing looking at these tomatoes, but there are still a few of them out there. That one's a Floridad. And there's a couple of Romas down there. But the vines are pretty much drying up now from the heat. So I'll probably be cleaning these out before too awful long. Just thought I'd give you a quick peek at the current state of the garden. Like I said, it's been all about seeds for the last month or two. I'm gathering a bunch of them, and if you've been following my little harvest pictures I've been putting at the end of some of my videos, you may have noticed that I'm getting a good bag of Praxis cherry tomato seeds this year. So I got past that scare, and I've got plenty of those seeds going forward. And everything else, I'm just wandering around out here, listening to the birds, watching the kitty cats, and hoping that rain decides to move a little bit farther south. So that's about it for now. I'll see you next time.